We all know that the best stories have the best villains, and the main character almost has to lose before he can actually become a real hero. And if you don't have an enemy, your business is not going to be the best version that it could possibly be. We know that Batman has the Joker, Apple has Microsoft, Elon has Trump, and I've always had an enemy which has fueled me and pushed us further so that we could build the best business possible. And I'm going to talk you straight through here. Look at this. Goku versus Perfect Cell in the ultimate match. Just an iconic fight, really. Just had to share that with everyone. Do you think you need to have a villain when you're building a business? Please let me know down below if you think that's true, if you think it's wrong. How does it work? Is anxiety good or bad for you or your mental health when actually trying to do this? Let me know in the comments. Let's continue. So the first real villain. So when we were building Real Hub, it's a business that we built. It was a real estate marketing company, which we ultimately exited for 180 million in 2022. I built that with my two brothers. We started from zero and grew it all the way up to 400 people in about 8 years. In the beginning, what had happened was we were part of a franchise, and as you do, you kind of outgrow these things. And we wanted to leave. And unfortunately, you can't just leave franchises. So, there are repercussions and you sign a contract, which is perfectly understandable, which we were happy to wear those consequences, no problems. But the problem that we came across was that my parents were also involved, right? So my parents were involved in the franchise at a high level. And when we left the franchise, they actually ended up punishing my parents for that decision that we made, which was super weird. Not something you really do in business, but it happened, right? And it ended up costing them over $1 million, right? They lost their business overnight because of a decision that we made as their sons, which we wore, right? And this move here was probably the dumbest decision that could have been made because it just became fuel for us, right? We had a real enemy or a real villain. But all that did was became our fuel. We basically took it on that we had lost that money for our parents and that we had to make it back, right? And the only way to do that was to grow a monster. We knew that the only way out was through, and we needed to build something that was truly outstanding so we could generate enough income, because paying back $1 million in cold hard cash is very difficult. I can promise you that. It's a lot of money, and there's very few businesses that can generate that much income additional to what we need to run the business as well, to pay them back. And it was always something on my mind. And I remember sitting there, working in the weekends and just thinking about this. Every time we were having a hard time, we thought about this and pushed deeper in because we knew that we had something or a debt to pay back. And we had an enemy, right? Constantly thinking, how can I beat them? How can I beat them? And just keep pushing, right? And ultimately, this was the biggest mistake that anyone could ever do against us. We're kind of known in this industry in Australia that we have a bit of a thing for using spite as fuel. So spite can either be used as a really negative thing, or you can use it as fuel to actually become better. And that's what we do with it. If someone says you can't do it, we're going to prove them wrong. If someone says something bad against us, we're going to just prove them wrong. We're going to use that as fuel. My brothers do this really well. They actually print it out and put it up. They've recently had a few little road bumps in their journey, and they've just printed them out and just laid them right next to there, and then that just becomes their motivation. You always need a villain, someone that's a villain, and it could be playful, but you need something that you're fighting against in the shadows. And we became relentless. And in the end of the day, we actually dominated them, and they became a figment of the past. We don't even think about them anymore. So that is what we need. That is our first true villain right there. And then moving on, it's important to find the next one. So as you grow, as your business grows, you're going to become bigger and better. And the villains that you had then are going to become nothing. You may or may not know this, but I love Dragon Ball Z. And every time they beat someone, the power level, the power level of 1200 was insane. The next boss they fight is 1.2 million. The next one is billions. The power just gets stupid and gets ridiculous, but that's how we're fighting. The little villain's going to look hard, and you're going to beat that person, and then you're going to find someone bigger. You need to keep doing that because that's going to help grow you. Right? So we ended up finding our next one. So this was a Real Hub, and it started getting bigger, and it started making waves. It started getting attention. And from there, a new enemy was lurking in the background. And this was the business that had been around 20 plus years in the making. These were the guys. They were the businesses absolutely dominating. And we started making waves in the industry because we had a new product. It was exciting. It was fresh. We were listening to our customers. We were actually supporting them. We were doing the things that you should do as a business, which they had neglected because they basically had a monopoly monopoly. They didn't need to do this anymore. But our competitors started getting nervous and then started actually talking badly about us in the market. They kind of tried to undermine what we were doing. This was the funniest thing, because Frank talks about this actually, was he sent an email, and I remember this one. I think it was a group effort, but they was like, find out what all the fuss is about, was like their email, right? So what we did is we used that as fuel, what they were doing as our marketing tactic, because they were talking about us, which is very interesting. One thing, never talk about your competitors, but they did. We used that and they became now our new villain. We were kind of just competing. We were always like, man, there's such a big company. When they started doing that, they instantly became a target for us. They were our new villain and we could attack them. And the way we attack is just be better. How can you be better? How can you do more? That is what we're doing. We're not literally talking about even concerning yourself with what they do. You just want to be better than them. So you want to become the leader. So they're following. And this is what was happening. This was the new fuel we needed to push to the next level. If we kind of just got happy at beating the first boss, we would never have grown anywhere further. What did this look like? Customer feedback would say something like, oh, at this business, they do this thing. We would then see how we could massively improve on that. And we said, what does it look like, the ultimate version of that? And work with our customers, which is key. How can we do everything better than them? And our system just kept getting better. So we just were constantly improving. And this is that having that shadow, right? You're fighting that shadow. Even if they don't exist, even if they're not as good as you think, you're making them big. And what we used to do a lot is make the competitors bigger than what they were. We always used to think they would work harder than what they did. Like, they are doing this, they're working harder. We need to push harder. And that really keeps you moving forward. And the funny story about this one was, in the end, they came and they offered us a 50-50 merger. This was for a company that was about 6 times the size of us easily in profit and actual revenue, like dominating us in those areas, but we were coming up. I think we'd just taken their biggest customer, so they knew the writing was on the wall. And this was how we actually slayed that dragon. So we beat that boss. So by doing that, we actually set ourselves up for the next stage, which was to be sold. So that was very cool. I can always remember finding enemies that we had and then using them to become better. And this is where I get back to here, right? Which is, you always need one, right? Regardless of what you're doing. I tell you all of this for this reason. You train to get stronger. And if we don't ever have another villain coming, we're not going to get stronger. We're actually going to just atrophy and get weaker. We train, and this is business. We get better. We push ourselves. It's like, what can you offer the customer? What can we learn? How can we get better constantly? How can we make our system better? How can we make our processes better? How can we make sales better? So you just keep sharpening your weapons until you face the next enemy. If you didn't have one, you get weaker. If you just sat around and you were just king of the castle, and you see this happen with monopolies all the time. They're just king of the castle. They don't need to train. They got no enemies. They got no challenges. They just chill. And that's the quickest way to downhill. You need someone chasing you down the hallway. This can be literally someone made up in your head, like it is for me now. So at the moment, I'm building Clipflow, which is a new business, right? Who are my enemies right now? Clipflow's enemy are the indie hackers, right? It's the vibe coders. It's all the people saying that AI can do everything, right? That is our enemies, because they're saying they can build these products and actually execute. So you constantly have that threat. And what that does is it keeps pushing you to improve faster and faster, because you're like, well, AI can spool this up in a day, so I better move, right? I better move quicker. And that's kind of like our current enemy. And I'm sure it'll change over time. But I always have one, because it creates that anxiety, that little bit of, anxiety that you need to have to make a good product or to make a good business, is that little bit of uncomfortableness. Like, I'm not moving fast enough. Because if you were just cruising and you knew you were onto a winner, and you did nothing, you're probably not going to even make it. Like, realistically, this is the fuel. I've used this anxiety. I've used this kind of spite, whatever you want to call it, as fuel. And it's always gotten us to a good place, right? And use it in a positive way. Don't let it bring you down, because it also can go the opposite, where you just feel overwhelmed and feel like you're going to get destroyed. But just know, like, a little bit of like, I'm going to show you. Have a little bit of that, a little bit of chip on your shoulder. I'm going to show you, and just go for it, right? If it makes you think that person is getting closer and I need to be better, you're on the money, right? It's the concept of fighting shadows. You're fighting things that don't exist, and you can use this in the best way possible. The stuff in the shadows can take you down, or they can be your biggest motivation. And even for the new business we're building, Clipflow, we have these, like I just said. This is something that I always wear. Is like, if you're going to compete against me in my realm, I'm going to beat you. It's just the thing. I'm going to fight you and I'm going to beat you. I think if you have that mentality, you're going to be set up for success, because that's what you need to do in trying to do something for a long time. I said this to Zach, but I'm going to say it again. And if you try and take food from my mouth, I'll destroy you. It's a bit of tongue-in-cheek. Obviously, I'm not going to destroy you, but it's a game of business, right? We have to fight, and that is how it works. Whoever's the best wins. And if everyone's fighting to be the best, you might even have two massive competitors. Who knows? But if that's you, make sure you don't sit down for the fight because you're going to get wrecked. All right, so if you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe to the video. Please leave a comment down below. I need to do that. And then, yeah, until next time, catch you on the next one.